Hello, everybody. It is me, your favorite professor, Profe Kyle. And of course, Mariangelica's favorite professor, because that's who I got in front of me right now. One of my best students, the wonderful, the beautiful Maracucha, living in Miami. Mariangelica. Mariangelica, how are you?
Good. Thanks for that.
Now Mariangelica says she's shy, but I don't really believe her. She's a bit shy to do the interview, but she's doing it. This is kind of like her final exam. Yes, you will do an interview in English. And if you do this interview, you will get a certificate that says, congratulations, you are a graduate of Profe Kyle's English Institute. All right.
Okay, let's do
So
it.
maybe a quick introduction for anybody watching this interview. Well, the date today is January 9th. I'm probably not going to upload it for another month or something like that, in case somebody's wondering what the date is. And Mariangelica, she was my student for, I don't know, Mariangelica, do you know how long you're my student? 2 years or
No,
3 years?
no, like 1 year and a half, I think.
Maybe a year and a half. Okay, yeah. Because actually, I don't think Mariangelica, she didn't start with me. I think you started with Malachi. Did you start with Malachi? Or no, you always had me as a
No,
teacher.
no, you.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mariangelica, she was in the Venezuela dominant class. It was kind of just lucky for her, maybe lucky for me. It depends on your perspective. Some Latinos like Venezuelans, others don't. And yeah, the class was, I think, 80% Venezuelan. So I always felt bad for the Colombian or the Ecuadorian or the Mexican that had to take the class because they were surrounded by these crazy Venezuelans, always so full of energy. Yeah, because Venezuelans full of energy, right? Angelica?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot
I
of
don't know.
energy.
Why do Venezuelans have so much energy? Is there a secret?
I don't know. But if you're Maracucho, you have like more energy than other.
Yeah, because I had about two or three maracuchos. Well, I think they're maracuchas. I didn't really have any male maracuchos. I've had some maracucho barbers. I have met for whatever reason in Colombia, all the barbers are maracuchos.
Maracuchos.
And
Oh
they're
yeah.
usually and they're very, very relaxed men. They're always on their phones, and they have obviously the famous maracucho accent, which even for me is difficult to understand. Relaxed guys for sure. So yes, Mariangelica, you're maracucha, and in the last month of classes, I told you that I saw something on social media about how even Venezuelans don't like maracuchos that much,
Yeah.
and I asked you, so why don't even Venezuelans like maracuchos? Can you tell us why don't other Venezuelans like maracuchos?
I don't know. I think because we are too loud. Like
Mm-hmm,
we like noise and
mm-hmm.
those things, and people doesn't like them.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
strange because for me, Venezuelans in general are noisy people, but I guess even for
yeah,
Venezuelans, maracuchos they take
no,
it to
maracuchos is
another level,
yeah, it's another level.
of being loud. All right, well, Mexico, let's talk a little about your life. So yeah, you're Maracucha, but you're interesting because you're not from the city. You're from outside of
No,
the city, correct?
yeah, I moved uh to like a little town when I was 7 years old
Okay.
with my mom, with my family. So yeah,
So
we have
so you were
farms
born in Maracaibo, but you
in
weren't.
Maracaibo, but
But
I
for the
moved.
most of the time, you were raised in this little town outside of
Yeah,
Maracaibo. Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Actually, one thing I liked about Mariangelica was that, with lots of Latinos that go to Gringolandia, they're always like, oh, I'm so happy to be here. My country is a piece of shit. I hate my people. I hate my country. And Mariangelica, she was actually, I'm glad to be in Miami, but, I miss home. I miss home. So yeah, Mariangelica misses home. What do you miss about home? What do you miss about Maracaibo? And what's the state? Is it a state in Venezuela? Estados?
yeah. Say
Okay. And so estado is Zulia? Is that this
Julia. Yeah,
Zulia? So what do you miss about Maracaibo and Zulia?
I don't know. I think the people, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
The food, like everything.
All right. Well,
I
tell
don't
well
that
tell
I don't
us
have here.
well tell us about the food, because Venezuelans and Colombians are very similar, but I always say Venezuelans got better food than Colombians. But
Yeah,
of course, Colombians will never
no,
admit that they don't have good arepas. But
never.
it's true. It's
No,
true that
our
Venezuelans have
arepas
better
are
arepas.
the best.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
All right. So, and what is Maracaibo food or Zulia food? Is it very different from the rest of Venezuela, or is it very similar?
It's different because I think that in Maracaibo we eat everything fried, like almost everything. It's
Okay,
fried.
I don't think I like it then. It sounds like costeño food in Colombia.
No, but it's good
It's good.
because we
Wow.
have
Yeah.
empanadas,
Okay.
patacones, so it's really
Uh,
good. So
I do like patacones, yes. But so in Zulia, are they because it depends on where you are in the Caribbean. So I think sometimes patacones are small and sometimes they're big. And for
no,
example, in
in
Colombia,
Maracaibo,
patacones are the big ones.
no, in Maracaibo too.
Yeah.
Big ones, and you put like inside you have like meat,
Mhm.
cheese, like a
But
little bit
inside or on top?
inside. It's like
Oh, really?
you have patacon. It's
Okay.
like a sandwich with
Oh, so it's like a
plantain.
patacone sandwich.
Yeah, patacon is like a
Uh,
sandwich. It's really good.
yeah, okay. Yeah, because I think for me personally, and I've never been to Maracaibo, but for me, the Maracuchos sound very similar to the Costeños in Colombia. But of course, they're a little bit different. Like the way they
Yeah.
speak, the food, the type of food they eat, very similar. But yeah, so the Costeños in Colombia, when they have patacon, just one, they have like the patacon on the bottom, and then they
Okay.
put everything on top, and then they take a fork and the knife and they eat it like that.
Okay.
But it sounds like in Maracaibo, Zulia, it's like a sandwich,
It's like a sandwich.
same, but they put another patacon on top, and then you
Yes.
guys eat it like it's Subway.
We eat it with forks and
Oh, really? So fork too. Okay, but it's like a sandwich.
yeah, it's like a sandwich.
Oh, okay, all right. Sounds like a lot of food. Is it really big?
It's big. Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's a lot of
imagine. I don't know how. Are you able to eat an entire one by yourself, or do you share it?
Of course. No,
Oh.
I can eat it all. It
That's what's always
depends.
that's what's impressive about
No.
Maracucha and Costeño women. Like you got a big giant patacon, and you're like, she's not gonna eat all of that, and then half an
No, I
hour
will.
later, done, gone.
Of course. Maracucha. I'm gonna eat it.
Uh-huh.
Everything.
Uh-huh. And yeah, what is that your favorite Maracucha dish? Is the patacon, or do you have another dish that's your favorite from your home state?
I like patacon and mandocas.
Well, actually, I never tried. What's a mandoka?
It's like the dough. It's made out of plantain or
Okay.
something, bananas. Depends.
Oh, is
And
this
in a pan,
yeah, so like in Colombia, Dominican Republic, Venezuela, is this basically where they kind of like mash up the plantain? They turn it into, I don't know, I don't know what to call it, just mush, plantain mush, and then they kind of cook it and then they eat it.
yeah, but it's like an arepa, but it's not like
Uh-huh.
it's I don't know how to explain it. It's like uh the shape. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a infinito, like sun symbol.
But it's like an eight, like the
No,
infinitive.
like
Okay,
this. Yeah, like
okay,
it,
uh-huh.
but it's really good.
But is
It's
it a
like a
ball or is it flat?
it's no. You have like a hole in the middle, so it's
Okay,
not like
uh-huh.
I swear I don't know how to
Okay.
explain it.
But more plantain. So you guys really
Yeah,
like plantain in Zulia.
no, yeah, everything.
Everything with plantain. Everything plantain. Is there plantain soup?
No,
Oh, that's the next. So if there's any
not
people
like that.
from Zulia, any people from Zulia watching this, you got to make a plantain soup. Everything plantain. Yeah,
No.
yeah, that'd be a good name. Good name for like a Zulia restaurant in Miami or Colombia. Just like todo
No,
plátano, just todo plátano. All right.
frito.
And actually, another thing that Mariangelica told me in class, which I liked and I would like her to talk about a little bit, because again, a lot for me it gets kind of tiring. Latinos all the time, they go to Canada, go to the United States, and then they just talk bad about their country, or they just say, "Oh, everything Gringolandia is way better than their home country." But I remember Mariangelica one time told me the quality of the food isn't very good in Florida, and I think it's the same in all of Canada and the United States. So when you told me that, and I explained it to everybody, the quality of the food. So why is the quality of the food worse in Florida and why is it better in Venezuela?
First of all, here doesn't take, like when I'm cooking
Hmm.
and I'm like seasoning the stuff, it doesn't take like nothing.
Okay. Like has
It
so the
doesn't have
food doesn't have any
flavor. It's
flavor.
not the same. Yeah, the flavors they're not the same.
Hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe it's because here they use too much chemicals.
Hmm.
The food.
Yeah.
Maybe in Venezuela it's more like organic. They doesn't do like
Yeah. It's not called organic, but it's organic
yeah,
food.
it's
Yeah.
like
And,
organic.
and it just has more flavor, tastes fresher. Yeah, it tastes good. All right. Now, so you're from Maracaibo, and we know that for sure. So when did you leave Maracaibo? When did you go to Miami? When did that happen?
And 2019, in
2019. Okay.
December 2019, yeah.
Now,
So
I think it was easy for you to, leave Venezuela and make the transition because I think you have two sisters that already lived in the United States before.
yeah, my sister, one sister and my aunt, they're
Okay.
living. They live.
And that's who you live with at the moment, right? Is your sister?
Yeah, with my sister and her husband.
Mm-hmm. And your aunt? So you said your aunt, does she also live with you or does she live in
No,
a different place?
she lives in a different place.
Okay. All right. Now you moved to Miami. I know lots of Colombians, Venezuelan, well, actually all Latinos, because for me, I always say Miami is the capital
Yeah.
of Latin America because all Latinos love Miami, even Argentinians. Argentinians, they don't like to agree about anything with other Latinos, but there's one thing they do agree about. It's that Miami is an amazing city. So Latinos like Miami. Were you prepared to go to Miami? Did you already know everything there was about Miami, or even having a sister that lived there, you didn't know what to expect when you moved?
No, I already like I knew it.
Hmm.
I already knew it because I always like came here for vacations and
Hmm. Yeah,
I knew the city, but it's not the same when you come here for vacations that
yeah,
to live. So at the beginning, it was hard because my friends they live in Venezuela. Everything changed. It's a change.
yeah,
So, but it was good. Like,
yeah,
and now I like it. It's
yeah. You
it's
like
being,
Miami?
yeah,
Hmm.
it's not being
Well,
easy, but okay.
yeah. I think and I've only been to Miami once, and I think I went to like the Miami Beach areas for a conference. I was there for I think 4 days, something like that. So of course, there's the Miami that the world sees, which is like Brickell, Miami Beach, all of that. And then I think a few months ago, somebody wrote a little post about the real Miami, which is houses, lots of roads, not really that pretty. So maybe in your own words, how would you describe maybe the real Miami, the Miami that isn't South Beach, which isn't Brickell, to people who don't know that much about it?
That it's not Brickell in Miami.
It's not very cool.
Brickell,
Oh, Brickell. Yeah.
yeah. I like they have the good parts and
Mhm.
bad. I don't really go like too often to Miami, but
Mhm.
because the traffic, I don't like it. That's the thing that I don't like here.
Yeah.
Traffic.
I've heard the
So
traffic is horrible in Miami.
it's horrible.
Yeah. Well, you told me about that before we started. You said, I think, well,
I
I
can't.
have enough time for this interview, but I gotta go because the traffic in Miami is
Yeah, the
horrible.
traffic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's
When I
even worse
went,
is
yeah,
it worse than in Maracaibo?
it's worse.
Yeah.
Even when here you have the lights,
Hmm.
they work.
Yeah.
In Maracaibo, you don't have that because you don't have electricity, so it's chaos.
Okay. But even with the lights in Miami, the traffic is worse.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Now, because you said the real Miami, so like, do you live in the city or do you live in a suburb?
Suburb.
A
I live
suburb?
like
Yeah.
I live like far away from Miami, like 40 minutes, 45
Mhm.
minutes. So
Because I think so. I have a lot of students, mostly Venezuelans, that are from Miami, and of course, you know some of them. You know Fernanda. Well, she doesn't live in Miami anymore.
yeah.
I think there's a neighborhood or a suburb that's full of Venezuelans. Is it El Doral? Is that the one that's full
Sí,
of Venezuelans? Yeah.
Doral. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you live there or do you live far away from there?
Not far away.
Far away from there? Yes. Uh, that's
Yeah, but
because
there is Venezuelans everywhere.
everywhere it's completely Venezuelan. Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you like it because it's full of Venezuelans, or is it like even
I
though it's
like
full of
it because
Venezuelans, I try to avoid it?
no, I like it because they have really good Venezuelan food.
Okay. Yeah.
They have the
Yeah.
best Venezuelan food, so
So
I
if you
go.
want Venezuelan food, you got to go to El
Yeah, to
Doral. Is
Doral.
it
Yeah.
Doral or El Doral? It's
Doral.
Doral. Doral, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now the Miami, which is in South Beach, is it very, how would you describe the culture? Is it, I don't know, is it very Latino? Is it very gringo? In your own words, how would you describe it?
It's very Latino.
Very Latino,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you feel like you are in Latin America.
Mm-hmm.
You
Now,
don't feel that you're like in Gringolandia.
no. Well, because you live with your sister and her husband, and your sister's husband is gringo. So does he ever, I don't know, complain, or does he ever say like, oh, like, yeah, this is like there's old Latinos around here. Like I don't
No,
even speak English.
no, he never. He's like sometimes he gets bored. He's
Yeah.
like, oh no, I don't understand. Like I don't want to be here. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but I think he got used to it.
Yeah. And does he speak Spanish? I never asked you. Does he speak
No,
Spanish or no?
he
No
doesn't.
Spanish at all? No.
Like he knows like words and that's it, but he doesn't speak.
Does he want to learn, or does he even want to learn Spanish?
That's the thing. He doesn't wanna.
He doesn't want to learn. No. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And does your sister try to force him? Like, "Oh,
Yeah, my sister
baby,
was.
you gotta learn Spanish for me. We live in Miami. You gotta learn Spanish." And he's like, nah, I don't really want to learn.
No, she was like, you have to learn like
Yeah.
Spanish because I need you like to like speak with my family, with
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
nah, he doesn't wanna. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I
No.
don't think I'm gonna do it.
All right. And when you're at home with your sister, I'm guessing you guys speak Spanish, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
So
the
so
time.
you speak Spanish with her, and then of course when you speak to your brother-in-law, you speak in English.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm
He
guessing
sometimes
you.
he
Yeah.
understand
Okay.
when
But I'm
we're
guessing he's
talking.
a typical gringo. He probably doesn't speak that much.
No, he doesn't.
No. Yeah. So comparing him to like a Maracaibo man or a Maracucho, is it just completely different? So Maracucho always speaking and he's just
Yeah.
right.
And my sister and I were always speaking in fast because we speak very fast.
Yeah.
And he's like lost in the space. He's like, mm? Like, can you explain me? Can you translate for me? And,
I don't
and
know.
we're like, no, we're not gonna do it. Like, learn Spanish.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I don't know. If I were a gringo in that situation, I would probably just start daydreaming and not even pay attention. If he's
No,
trying to pay attention, then well, congratulations to him. I probably wouldn't even pay attention. I say, the girls are speaking. The girls are speaking. I'll let them talk about whatever they want. All right. So you moved in 2019 to Miami. You said it was difficult first. So the most difficult thing was it just, being away from your friends and of course the family members that were, well, I think your mom still lives in Zulia,
yeah.
right? Yeah. That was the hardest thing, was just the family and friends being far away from them, or were there other, I don't know, culture shocks, other things that you had to get used to?
Yeah, people here is not like empathic. I feel that way. I don't know.
They
They,
empathetic. They don't,
yeah, they don't
they're
know
not as
empathic.
friendly, not as nice. No. Yeah. Now, because you said like Miami is mostly Latino, is that, I don't know, I guess the gringo influence, the gringos are gringuizando the Latinos in Miami and now they're
Maybe,
cold hearted.
maybe. But
Yeah.
the thing is that I'm always like working and at work
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of gringos or Israeli people, so
Mhm.
there are different cultures, so
Okay.
yeah, it's not the
But
same.
but even the Latinos that you interact with when you're not at work, are they colder as well, or are they just as nice as back home?
No, they're nice.
They're nice. Okay. All right. Of
Not
course,
all
there's
of
a lot,
them.
not all of them, okay,
Yeah,
but most of them.
most of them.
Now, of course, there's different types of Latinos in Miami. Are there Latinos that you enjoy, meeting, seeing in Miami, and others that you don't enjoy seeing as much?
No, really, I don't go out that
Yeah,
much. You know,
I know.
I'm like, eh,
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I
so
asked, I always expected Mariangelica to like give me exciting stories about Miami, and she'd always tell me,
no,
"No, I just stayed at home on the weekend. I didn't really do that much."
I
Yeah, so
clean. That's
yeah,
it.
Mariangelica's more of a homebody. She's not really a party animal.
Well,
Hmm.
those
All right.
days are over.
Those days are over already? All right. So yeah, when you're younger, yes, but
Yeah,
nowadays you're more
no,
mature. Yes, you don't do that as much.
I don't have that energy.
Hmm. Uh, Now you said that you like Miami now. Is like what do you like about Miami? What are the positives of the city?
I don't know. I like because I hear you have like too many teams to do. Maybe that.
Yeah, so
I
just
don't
like there's a variety of
Yeah,
things to do. Even though you don't like to do much stuff,
no. But
you like
like
the idea that you have options if you do
yeah, I
want to
have
do something.
options, but I like to go to concerts, musicals, I
Mhm.
do all of that.
Musicals? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like musicals, just so you know, Mary Hadley. But like musicals would be like, I don't, yeah. So it's like, theater and then they sing songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? So
I
what's your
went
favorite music? Do you have a favorite musical or yeah, what are some good musicals that you like?
last week I went to Aladdin, the
Oh yeah.
Broadway
I
musical.
actually
It was
I've seen
good.
I've seen Aladdin. I went to Seattle to see Aladdin. And
You
that was
see?
only because my ex-girlfriend, she likes music. Latinas seem to like musicals.
Yeah.
And so I had to go see Aladdin. It was impressive, but I've never liked Disney movies. I've never liked musicals, and yeah. But you enjoyed Aladdin?
Yeah, it was good.
Good. But what's
Really.
do you have a favorite musical of all time?
Yeah. Maybe Wicked.
Weekend it's called? Oh no, Wicked. Yeah, Wicked. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Wicked. Yeah. Latinas like Wicked. Yeah. My ex-girlfriend too. I just loved Wicked. Oh, Wicked's the greatest musical of all
Yeah.
time. I still haven't watched it, but supposedly it's a really good musical. Okay. And well, you're also a big Bad Bunny fan. I remember you went to the Bad Bunny
Yeah.
concert a few months ago. And of course, Bad Bunny is a little bit controversial for Latinos because either Latinos love Bad Bunny or they
Oh,
hate
yeah.
Bad Bunny.
I hate
So yeah,
that.
when in class when you said you went to the Bad Bunny concert, like some of them were like, "Oh, you went to Bad Bunny, amazing," and others were like, "Hmm, no,
Mm.
all right."
He
But yeah,
waits.
for you, it's one of the best concerts you ever been to, right?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Really good.
Mhm. All right. So now you guys know. Musical fan, Bad Bunny fan, man. Well, do you like all reggaeton or is it just a few artists, reggaeton artists that you like?
No, I love reggaeton, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
a lot of art.
Is that your favorite, genre of music, or is there other genres that you prefer more than reggaeton?
The thing I can listen it a little bit of everything. I like everything.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like romanticas, pop,
Yeah.
everything.
What about? I know in Venezuela. Actually, I learned from a Venezuelan girl in Quito how to dance merengue. So I know merengue is very popular for Venezuelans. It's like, do you like merengue music?
Yeah, I like it.
Do you like salsa? All right. What
Salsa,
else? What else?
merengue,
Bachata.
bachata, say. All
Yeah.
right.
But and then everything. So does that also include gringo music, or do you prefer more
No, I
Latin
like
music?
gringo music. I can
Like,
listen to country music,
oh,
everything.
really? Country music?
I don't like I can listen to, but if you ask me, oh, tell me one artist, I'm not gonna say anything. Like
Yeah, but you
I don't.
can like listen to it and
Yeah,
enjoy it,
I
and you're
can
not
enjoy it. Yeah.
annoyed. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I don't like country music. My mom and my sister made me listen to country music when I was a kid. I didn't like it. I still don't like it.
Like,
But actually, I would say for Latinos, if you're learning English and you want to know like gringo slang, yeah, definitely listen to country music because it has a lot of good slang in it. All right. Where do I want to go next? So we're talking a lot about Miami, but we could probably stop talking about Miami now. Uh, now, it, I actually I never asked you this, but I was curious because you already more or less speak good English, and then also like when I talked to you about your job and everything, it didn't really seem like you needed to learn English to get a better job. Like maybe you could get a better job, but what's the main reason that you wanted to get better at English? Is there a specific reason for professional reasons because you're in Miami? Because I never really, for me, you're one of my favorite students. You're always, yeah, for anybody watching this, like Mariangelica, she's always taking notes. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I got my notes right here. And she was always attentive. Sometimes I couldn't see her face because she came back from the gym and she was sweaty, and she's a Venezuelan woman. So, of course, a Venezuelan woman cannot show herself sweaty to people in public. But yeah, I knew that she was always taking notes. But yeah, what was the main reason for you wanting to get better at English?
I think because I want to like improve my vocabulary. You say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and the way I speak, like the pronunciation, I want to like to um say the words correctly,
Okay.
because sometimes I like a mess with that. I'm not good at it.
Hmm. You feel like you're
So
just saying a word
yeah,
salad of English.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I need
Yeah.
to practice more. Like
Yeah. Well, because yeah, again, like you never really told me like, oh, I want to get uh like this job in Miami. Like for me, it just seemed like you wanted to get better at English because you're just curious. You're curious about
yeah,
the language and you like seems like you like learning. Is it
yeah.
do you like learning in general or is it specifically like learning
In
English?
general,
In general, yeah.
yeah. I am that person that I like to know how to do like everything.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I like to learn. So
They just always like to improve. Because yeah, you also I know you like to do kickboxing, correct?
yeah,
Do you still do kickboxing? Of course, right? Yeah, so you like learning English, you like doing kickboxing, anything else that you like to do or like to get better at? Oh, and you also like baking, right?
baking. Yeah, I love it.
Like, so yeah, you're not good at cooking like
No, that's not
dishes,
my.
but baking, you're very good.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you have any specialties for baking? I don't know if I ever asked you. Is it like Venezuelan bread or do you kind of bake everything?
No, I think the best are my alfajores. Those are the best.
Really? But I don't know, is alfajor is it popular in Venezuela? Because for me, alfajor is very Argentinian.
No, it's more Argentinian and Peruvian.
Oh, okay. So yeah, well, when did you start learning how to make alfajores? Did you have like an Argentinian friend and you tried it and you said, I'm gonna try to
My
make this?
mom, she gave me like the recipe, like do it like this, and
Uh-huh.
I did it like that, and they are
Yeah,
the best.
are they because there's different types of alfajores. Is it the traditional one where it's like two cookies and then in the
Yeah,
middle it's what do you call it in
dulce de leche.
Venezuela? I think arequipe or
Sí,
um
arequipe or dulce de leche,
dulce de leche, yeah. Is it chocolate on top or no chocolate?
not chocolate.
Okay, so like the really classic. What about coconut? You put coconut on top?
Sometimes, because
Sometimes.
my sister, she doesn't like it, like,
Oh.
entonces I don't put
She's
coconut.
like coconut? She's Caribbean. Like Caribbean people should like
Yeah,
coconut. Yeah, that's very strange. So has she ever did actually I don't know. In Zulia, do they have arroz con coco?
no. So I think
Oh,
they I don't know if they make it, but okay.
yeah. Oh, I like arroz con coco.
They-
All right.
no, it's not that popular, I think.
No? What's disappointment? Now I don't want to go to Maracaibo if they
They
don't go to
they
arroz con coco.
they, they make like chivo con coco. I
Uh-huh.
hate it.
What's that? Chivo con coco?
Chivo. Yeah,
Is that like what's chivo? I don't even know what's chivo.
it's an animal.
Oh, it's like a
Wait,
goat? Is it the goat?
yeah, it's a goat.
All right. Goat. So it's like goat meat with coconut on top or cooked with coconut?
No, like it tastes like coconut. I
So,
don't know how they make it. I don't
so goat meat with taste of coconut.
know. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. Now, when did you start learning English? Did you start learning English in Maracaibo?
English.
Yeah, English. When did you start learning it? Did you learn it like in
No,
elementary school? Did you learn it when you
elementary
came to
school
Miami?
they always it's the same, like verb to be, and that's it.
Yes, everybody
Every
does.
year they teach you that verb to be, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can't
like
imagine.
the only
They
thing that you need is verb to be. Yeah, that's it.
okay. Now you're fluent. Yeah, you've mastered the verb to be. Now you're
Yeah,
fluent in English. I think lots of people, especially in Venezuela, all the Venezuelans tell me that every year just we learn how to
yeah,
conjugate the verb to be.
yeah.
Sounds
That's
incredibly
it.
boring. All right.
It is.
So the basic
But
English education, verb to be. Besides that, what did you do? When did you start learning English, or how did you do it?
in Maracaibo, I studied like for maybe 1 year,
Okay.
and then I came here like for 6 months, and I studied. I studied it here.
All right. So, yeah, tell me when you came to Miami, how good was your English? Like, was it like beginner level? Was it intermediate level? How much could you speak when you arrived?
I think it was more like intermediate. It was in between um beginner and intermediate.
Like, it's like so pre-intermediate, I'm guessing. So something like
Yeah.
that. All right. And could you already have like conversations? Did you feel like you could speak with gringos no problem, or like you could have conversations, but yeah, you weren't really
No,
confident.
I think that one days are better than other days,
Yeah,
you
well, yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Always. Like one days I'm like, okay, I can speak like fluent, like good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But other days I'm like, I can't. Stuck.
So it was the same when you got to Miami, or was it like? I'm guessing it's worse then because yeah, you didn't have as high of a level. Okay, so yeah, so some days were good, some days were bad, and
But
so
yeah,
okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
no, now it's I feel like better, like more confident
yeah,
on
of
speak.
course. Mhm. And when you were in my like, so before taking my classes, did you take any other classes in Miami, or were you just kind of picking it up
Yeah.
from your brother-in-law from work?
Yeah. Work, my brother-in-law, he doesn't speak that much, but okay, that's better.
Yeah. Typical gringo. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right. And then we guess like what? Did you watch a lot of TV shows and movies in English or not that
yeah,
much?
everything.
Uh-huh.
Music, I listen to music in English. Movies, I go, I love to the movie theaters.
Yeah.
That help me. Like I learned to listen in. Like,
Hmm.
so, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, going to the movies. Well, seems like a very Latino thing. I say Latinos go to the cinema even more than gringos do. I remember in Colombia, every Saturday was, oh, I went to the movies. I went to the movies. Geez, Latinos are always going to the movies.
Yeah,
It's impressive.
we like
Uh-huh.
into the movies.
All right. And then, well, I guess let's start talking about me. How did you find me? I'm guessing you found me on Instagram, or did somebody share my profile with you? How did you find me?
No, I was on Instagram. I don't
Was
know
on
how.
Instagram.
I think maybe on the loop. I think
Like oh, like what?
maybe
Like I don't know, like on
like
the
in search.
explore
Yeah,
page.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember. It was long time ago
Yeah, but yeah, I
that I
just you saw a
follow
video of mine.
you,
Hmm.
and like 1 year later, something like that, I start the classes
Hmm.
with you.
All right. And well, they tell me what did you like? Was it like the focus on pronunciation? Was it just because it seems like Venezuelans like me? Because yeah, I got lots of Venezuelan students. It seems like Venezuelans like me, and they say it's because I got a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And Venezuelans seem to prefer people with a sense of humor.
No, yeah, and I really like the classes because they're not like the same boring classes and they teach you the structure, this, like this. This is more
Oh
like
yeah, talk about the classes or the videos, or
the
both.
classes,
Oh, the
both.
classes. Okay.
Because the videos are good because I always like the videos that you say like, oh, the pronunciation here are the same. No,
Hmm.
these words they're pronounced they're different. The e
Hmm.
this one is longer than the. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you start following me, and then a year later, you start taking classes. And what made you? Was there something particular that made you want to take the classes, or just you're like, ah, why not? I'm gonna do it.
I was like, do it because I want to learn. You always like have something to learn. So I was
Yeah.
like, let's do it.
Yeah. Mariangelica kind of sounds like me. Just like, yeah. Like, why? What, Profe, why do you learn champeta? It's like, yeah, I want to do it.
Why
It just
not?
seems like something fun to do. All right. So yeah, Mariangelica a little bit different than the average Latinos. Like, oh, I gotta learn this to, immigrate. I gotta learn this to get a better job. Mariangelica is that I want to get better at English. And when you started taking the classes, were they what you expected? Were they very different? How would you describe the first month of classes and what you experienced?
It was good. I
Yeah.
I was like waiting for the day. Oh, we have classes. I was like excited for that because
Mm-hmm.
they were really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I'm
That
gonna
seems
I'm
like,
gonna come back this
oh, you
year.
gotta take a
So
break? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. That you said I gotta leave and then come back to the room. Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, anybody watching this, Mariangelica, she took a break in December because her mom was coming. And of course, Mariangelica loves her mother, even though her mother's come a few times. But I think Mariangelica really wanted to give her mother all of her love, all of her attention. So
yeah,
nothing was going to distract her. So yeah, it's January now. So yeah, it sounds like Mariangelica wants to come back. So hopefully she'll come back. But it seems like because with lots of people, they kind of have expectations of what classes are going to be. But in your case, it's just you wanted to get better at learning, and you came in with a very open mind. So it's like I don't know what's going to happen with the classes, but whatever happens, I'm open to whatever. I'm down for whatever Profe Kyle tells me to do.
exactly. I was ready with my notebook,
Yeah, we always with the notebook. Yeah,
taking notes.
yeah, ready to learn. And well, let's go straight to this question. How to people who have never taken my classes, and for me, I'm very different from other teachers. I really don't know how to describe it to people because people always kind of think, oh, Profe Kyle, I like his personality, but I'm pretty sure his classes are the same as other teachers. But for me, it's like, no, my classes are not the same. Get that idea out of your head. So for somebody who's used to the same old, learning the verb to be, in every single year, how would you describe the Profe Kyle methodology or Profe Kyle's classes?
Bueno, for me, your classes are the best that I've taken back before. Because it's not like that. It's boring like structure, verb to be the same, the same. It's like, and you never learn anything from that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like different. It's more like, es como like fluent, like fluido, like
You said like
algo
the
más.
classes are like you
You
don't
feel
really.
like you are not in classes, but you're still
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
That's the good part.
oh, I like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, how do you describe that? So
Yeah,
just, yeah, you go to class and you don't really feel like you're in class. It just feels like you're doing something cool with a group of people.
like with a group. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Now, because I have different classes, so I've talked a lot about it in the different interviews. So like I got the music class, I got the story class, I got a dialogue class, I have like a presentation. Yeah, Mary Heck always like the presentation classes. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, what were some of your favorite classes that you took?
I think presentation and music.
Hmm. Yeah, because of course, you like music. Actually, I never really asked you, but I think it's just because you're a curious person. Is that why you like presentation classes? What did you like about the presentation classes?
I don't know. I think the dynamic, how was
Yeah.
the, yeah,
Yeah, so maybe for somebody watching this who doesn't know,
I or
so
something. Yeah.
yeah, so presentation classes, usually what I like to do is either because of social media or because Mary Helica, she tells me a story about something in Gringolandia. I'm like, maybe it'll be interesting to explain to the students why gringos are like this, or what are some of the favorite. I think I did one presentation class. I think you took that class, like classic gringo desserts. So I just like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do a class teaching the students about our favorite desserts for in general, cookies and pies and all that. So usually I just try to find something that Latinos are curious about, and then I'll take some videos from YouTube and I'll present it to the class. And with those videos, I'll teach the vocabulary. So I like doing those classes because I always like talking about gringo culture, and yeah, Mariangelica seemed to enjoy those classes. So yeah, for you, it's just about the dynamic, just so you got the listening, you get the videos, and then you get my explanations of the vocabulary, explanations of the culture.
Yeah, you have like a little bit of everything there.
Good.
I like it.
And again, my classes, they focus on so much, which is always why it's difficult for me to describe to people what they're like, because you can improve speaking, you can improve pronunciation, you can improve listening. But was there one aspect of your English that you think improved a lot because of the classes?
Yeah, I think speaking.
Speaking was the big, yeah.
Yeah, because when I started the classes, I was like very good listening. I can understand like almost everything, some words that I don't know what
Yeah.
they mean, but speak, it was like my words. I have it here, but my words, I couldn't say it.
Yeah. And,
Now it's
and like when you started the classes too, was that the main thing that you wanted to work on? It's like, I want to take these classes and I really want to improve my speaking. Or again, like we said before, very open mind. You're open to whatever, and just it so happened that speaking is what improved.
yeah, it was like I'm gonna take it. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna learn something,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to improve my like speaking
Mm-hmm.
because it was terrible. It wasn't
And
good.
and you improved your speaking.
Yay! See.
Oh, amazing. And so explain that to somebody who, again, maybe similar to you, not very confident in the speaking. So how would you say the confidence you're speaking has changed from when you started to basically when you took the break in December? How would you describe that transformation in your confidence?
Hmm. God.
Yeah. It's
Bueno,
like, because
I
like
don't.
again, like at work, you talk to gringos. Like, do you like
Yeah.
you feel you're not really thinking as much about, oh my goodness, I got to speak to a customer right now.
No, no, that is no anymore. Sometimes before I was like, oh, customer, I don't want to speak. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna understand, and they're not going to understand me. And I was like,
mhm,
freak, I don't like it.
yeah.
But now even my partners at work, they told me
Mhm,
like, oh no, you're much better than before.
mhm.
They can notice the difference from before.
Actually, so yeah, do you? Because I know you always talk about your boss. Your boss is kind of famous for me because yeah, well, and I
Yeah.
think your boss is friends with you. Like I think you got your job because your sister worked for your current boss, and then she stopped working for her, and then your boss had a job opening, and then your sister recommended you, and then you started working for your boss. Something like that.
My boss is she's my sister's mother's-in-law.
Oh, okay. So actually, it's your brother-in-law's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. All right. So basically, yeah, you got the job through connections.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you also, 'cause I always just assumed that you were kind of by yourself in this, like, I guess like a jewelry store, but
Yeah.
you have other coworkers?
No, I'm self, but the store they're like booth,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Yeah.
next, we are like connected, the
Okay.
booth.
Oh, so yeah. But
So
I was kind of like those Latin American mercados de aire libre where it's just like a whole like just a bunch of stalls, like everybody's beside each other? Or is it more like maybe like a gringo shopping mall where there's like one store here, one store
yeah,
there?
it's like a shopping mall.
Okay.
You have a lot of booth,
Okay. Yeah. But like
and
big are they like big booths or small booths?
it's small.
Small booths, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and everything is jewelry. So
Okay. So it's like a jewelry market. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Mary had always explained this to me, but I've never really seen one before. So maybe there's a lot of them in the United States, and in Canada we don't have as many. But yeah, she was like, it's like a giant marketplace full of jewelry. And I was like,
that's it.
okay, I don't really understand, but okay. I'm guessing they have it in Miami. But yeah, so obviously you talk to the other people working at the different booths. Yeah.
Like the
And
girl
yeah.
next door,
Mhm,
we're always talking, and
mhm.
she's the most like the person that the most, how do you say, like talk is with
She's
her.
talkative? Oh, okay. Oh, the person that you talk to the most.
It's also the most. Yeah, is with her.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's always to her. So she always tell me like, no, you're better. But sometimes I like, today is not my day. Don't talk to me because I don't want to think. I don't want to do anything.
No, I know exactly how you feel. Same thing happens to me in Spanish, where some days I want to talk in Spanish, and other days it's like I hope no Latino talks to me because I do not want to think or
Yeah.
speak in Spanish. Yeah, I know what you mean. And this neighbor beside you, is she gringa or is she Latina?
She's from Israel too.
Oh,
So
she's from Israel. Okay, yeah. Yeah. But I'm guessing, yeah, she speaks very good English. I think most people in Israel, they
yeah.
speak very good English. Yeah. All right, good. All right, I think we're almost at the very end here. Any other questions I want to ask you? Okay, so methodology. Yeah, I didn't, if anybody watching this, I didn't send Mariangelica the question. So she's not prepared, and I'm not completely prepared either for this. Uh, all right. Well, yeah, yeah. So you said your speaking improved the most. And I don't know, were there any surprises in the classes? Obviously you came in with an open mind, but was there anything in particular that surprised you, whether it was the dynamic or a certain class or maybe something that I did or yeah,
No,
something I did during classes?
the class that I think it was pronunciation class.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is this? It's the first time that that I saw that class, like
Mm-hmm.
the U, like the monkey,
Yeah.
those sounds. It's the first time that I was like, this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
didn't
I think
expect
for most, Latinos and even in other languages, I'm always frustrated because, I learned Spanish, I'm learning Portuguese and Russian, and yeah, it's very difficult to find teachers that teach pronunciation. So I think for a lot of students, when they have a class which is dedicated to pronunciation, it's a little bit of a surprise because there's really not that many people that focus on it. So I don't think you're the only one, and I do enjoy teaching it. It's a lot of fun to teach the pronunciation class.
that.
Mhm,
But it was the first time that I see.
mhm. Yeah. And well, because for you, a lot of students, their listening improves because of the focus on pronunciation. But in your case, you were already good at listening. So it really wasn't a problem. But because I like teaching pronunciation, so I'm just curious, taking, the music class, which also focused on pronunciation, and then the extreme pronunciation class, did it help you in any way, whether it was with speaking or understanding, or did you, go to work and because of those classes, you were talking to your neighbor and like, oh, this is exactly what Profe Kyle was talking
That
about in class.
that helped me a lot.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes when I don't know why, I don't know if I always like heard it before, but I didn't pay attention. But I remember that always that we have a class and I learned something new. The next
Hmm.
day I heard it. It was like, oh, I learned that from class. I know, now I know.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah, yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah. Because yeah, you can learn things in a natural way, and you don't even know that you learned it. And then yeah, you do learn it from a video or from a class, and you see it in real life, and you think, wow, yeah, that's exactly what they do in the language. Yeah, so I know what you mean.
But it helped me a lot with uh like comprehension, like
Yeah.
when people talk and I was like, oh, they pronounce this way, no, this way. Now I know, and then I
Mhm.
can, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe, and actually, maybe a question just about you personally, because for me, I know that you want to get better at English, but even since the first class, your pronunciation was already really good. I think like you said, the biggest thing was just getting more confidence in speaking. But do you do you think that your neutral accent was for a specific reason? Was it because you always listened to gringo music since you were a kid, or is it something that you practiced? How did you get the neutral accent that you have?
I think because I always, when I was living in Venezuela, I
Yeah.
shared room with my sister, and she was always watching Friends, something in English. I was
Okay. Yeah.
always listening to it. She was like very Coldplay, Green Day, My Chemical Romance, listening
Okay.
to like very gringo music.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think it was because of her.
Yeah, you just kind of picked up. Because yeah, I think you have two sisters. So
Well,
was that the sister that you live with or the other sister?
no,
The
my
sister, okay,
sister.
that you live with, yeah. Yeah, I always get, Latino parents, they want, me to teach kids English. And I know I could probably make, money off of teaching kids because it's very in demand. And I think Latino parents like, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
give you as much money as you want, just teach my kids English. But like kids can kind of absorb things like a sponge. So I think in a way you're kind of proof. Just watch, TV shows in English, listen to a lot of
yeah,
music in English to your kids, and they'll probably pick up at least a neutral accent. Maybe they won't be able to speak like with lots of confidence, but I think you're kind of proof of that they kind of pick up a neutral accent just by listening to a lot of gringo content.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way. Just put something on the TV and they're gonna learn something.
Yes, yeah.
That's
Just
a
pick it
good
up,
way.
pick it up.
Yeah.
Good. All right, very good, man. I don't know. Any advice, any tips that you might give somebody who's learning English? Anything that's really helped you in your journey?
Don't be shy.
Mm-hmm. Mariangelica is shy, so she's saying, yeah, don't be
Yeah,
shy. Okay,
don't be
okay.
shy.
Uh-huh.
Like I was like, I want to speak, but I don't wanna like say something that is not correct, you know?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I was like, Don't worry, it's okay. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
cares, so just do it."
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Think. I think listening to music it helped me like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Watch TV. That's it
Mm-hmm.
in English.
Yeah.
Everything in English.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's difficult. Like for me, I know, my Spanish would probably improve even more. Uh, if I obviously just listen to pure music, Spanish music, like Latino music, and like just watch TV shows in Spanish. But of course, like, I'm gringo, so I prefer gringo things. I know for Latinos, they're going to prefer Latino things. But of
Yeah.
course, if you can force yourself to just listen to as much gringo content as possible, it will definitely have positive benefits for sure. And actually, like one more thing, uh, I always students always ask me this when they come to class. They always say like, "Do I need to take notes?" And I always tell them, "You don't have to take notes." And by tell them, just writing things down, even if you don't study it later on, it just kind of helps
It
the
helps.
brain memorize. And now you're one of the students that always took notes. So maybe just for people who are learning English out, like why do you take notes? Does it help you? Yeah, I'm just curious your own personal perspective about always taking notes.
It helps because on the weekends I
Mm-hmm.
always like go back to my notes and
Mm-hmm.
like practice. Oh, let's do this. And sometimes when I was like free at work, nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do, I print the class again and I do it like I always like do
Uh,
it again, and that
yeah.
helped me, yeah, a lot.
Well, actually, okay, I think I did something similar when I was in university learning Spanish. And yeah, because maybe for you it's not nothing special, but I think for a lot of people it'd be helpful. So, for example, when you're in class and you're taking notes, so let's say I teach a new word or a new phrasal verb or a new dicho, a new saying in English. Do you write down just the word and then like you write an example, or do you just write down an example and you underline what you learned? What do you do when you take notes?
No, the word, the meaning of the word
Okay.
is
Do you
an
put in
example.
and the meaning? Do you write it in Spanish? Like, do you do a translation? Do you do
No,
just like
in
the
English.
meaning?
Like
Okay,
the
in
way
English.
that you explain it to us, I wrote it
Okay,
down like that.
right. Okay, yeah. So you put the word, you put the meaning, but you write it in English, which probably is
Yeah,
also a good exercise. It forces you to
yeah,
describe something in other words. Yeah, because obviously in class too, I try not to do it, but sometimes it's easier to explain things in Spanish. So, but in your case, even if I explain it in Spanish, you try to write down the
yeah,
meaning in English.
in
And then
English,
underneath that, you have an example.
an example
Mhm. An example is your own example, or is an example from the class or from basically
from the
whatever we're
class.
using from the class? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always
All
like
right.
explain, and I was like, oh, let me put an
Mhm.
example here because that way it's better, it's easier for me
Mhm.
to remember the word.
Mhm. Yeah, and then when you review it, so whether it's at work or on the weekend, like just quickly like read through it quickly, just kind of remind yourself, or like you said, do you just open up a new page or have a separate notebook and you just kind of copy and paste just to create more muscle memory of the word?
I do that. Like I sometimes I put the word,
Mhm.
like the list of the new words that
Yeah.
I learned,
Uh-huh.
and then next to them, like to the
Hmm.
words, I put the meaning. Like I
Hmm.
don't go back. So this word means this, and that way I learn.
Hmm.
You know, it's
Okay.
easy.
Yeah. Well, so for anybody watching this, when I was learning Spanish, I think I did something similar. But of course, in university, they would force us to learn vocabulary, which is a good thing. But they would give us like a list of words. I think Latinos, Gringos, everybody's going through this when they go to like a regular institute. They give you a list of words and like, okay, final exam, these words are going to be on the test. So yeah, my strategy was, I'd have my list of words, and I think Mariangelica is different, but in my case, I would translate it into English. So I'd have the Spanish word like I don't know, conocido. So I write known beside the word, and then I would basically, whenever I had free time during the week, on the weekend, I would cover up the translation.
Mhm.
No, what? No, no, actually, I'd cover up the Spanish word. I would have the English translation, and then I would force myself to, okay, what
So
is known in Spanish? Oh, it's conocido. Yeah. And then basically, if I didn't correctly translate the word, well, I'd have to do it
yeah,
again and again and again. If I
same.
translated it correctly, it meant that my brain already memorized the word and I would just start ignoring it because I
Mhm.
knew that I already knew it. So, yeah, similar to what you do, but you do everything like with meanings instead of the translations.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do.
Smart. It's probably even better than my technique. All right. So, anybody watching this, Mary Helga gave you some good advice on taking notes. Yeah. Yeah. I just tell students, even if you're not going to review it like Mary Helga does, just even just writing it down just kind of helps the brain
Yeah,
memorize it a little bit better. Yeah.
you help a lot.
All right. Good. All right, Mary Helga. I don't know. Any final comments?
Not for now. I miss the classes.
All right.
I'm
Well,
like
hopefully.
on Monday, like at 7, I'm like, oh, at this time I will take
All
at
right.
classes. Like, oh,
Yeah. Maybe she should come back because for some reason nobody wants to take Monday classes. Yeah. So of course there's
awesome.
space for you. You don't have to wait. All right. So, anyways, Mary Helga, thank you very much for doing the interview. I
Thank
know that you're very
you.
shy. It might be difficult, but you did a
Yeah.
good job. All right. And yeah, for anybody who might actually be watching this, thank you for watching till the very end. And Mary Helga, hopefully I'll see you in class soon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much, Kyle. See
Bye, Mary
you.
Helga. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.